my dear students, how are you? Hope you are doing well. Today we are going to study the human locomotory system. Well, what's the meaning of movement? Movement, it is the ability of the body to change its position from one place to another. This movement happens or depends on the work of the muscles and bones. We move by the muscles and bones. So the human locomotory system consists of skeletal system and muscular system. Skeletal system, it is the system of bones. Muscular system, it is the system of muscles. In this term or in this lesson, we will study only the skeletal system. The skeletal system consists of two main parts, which are the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton, it is the axis. It is lying in the middle. It consists of the skull, the rib cage, and the backbone. The skull, rib cage, and the backbone. The appendicular are the branches, which are two upper limbs and two lower limbs. First, in the axial skeleton is the skull. The skull, it is a bony box that contains cavities for eyes, nose, and mouth. The skull is important as it protects your brain. After that, the backbone. Here is your backbone. Your backbone consists of discs. These discs are called vertebrae. They are 33 vertebrae. Between them there is a structure. Its name is cartilage. This cartilage is important as it prevents friction between them during movement. So, scientific term, a structure that is between the vertebrae, its name, so the answer would be cartilage. Give reason, there is a cartilage between the vertebrae to prevent friction between them during movement. Other name for the backbone is vertebral column. Column is also a line. Vertebral column. Other name for the backbone is vertebral column. The last, why? By the way, why your backbone is important? Because it allows bending your body in all directions. You can bend right, left, in front, and also at the back. In addition, it protects your spinal cord. The axial skeleton, the last structure in it is the rib cage. Your rib cage, here is the shape or the structure of the rib cage. You are having how many pairs? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and these two small or floating ribs, 11 and 12. So you are having 12 pairs of ribs. The first 10 pairs are connected to your breastbone. This breastbone, its name is sternum. So the first 10 pairs are connected anteriorly to the sternum. Anteriorly means at the front. The last two ribs are called floating ribs. They are loose. They aren't connected to your sternum. Your rib cage is important as it protects your heart and lung. In addition, it plays a very important role during respiration. During inhalation process, it moves upward, and during exhalation process, it moves downward. So, the exoskeleton, it consists of skull, backbone, and rib cage. The appendicular skeleton consists of upper limbs and lower limbs. You are having two upper limbs. Each one of them consists of humerus. These two bones are forearm, hand. Humerus, forearm, hand. The upper limb is connected to the shoulder bone. The upper limb is connected to the shoulder bone. Also, you are having two lower limbs. Each one of them consists of femur, shaft, foot. Femur, shaft, foot. Each limb is connected to the pelvic bone. Each limb is connected to the pelvic bone. Well, the last part in this term is the joints. The joints are the point of connection between the bones. The joints allow movement between the bones. Without joints, what will happen? All the bones will be fused together. You are having different types of joints. The first type is the freely movable joint. The freely movable joint, example like the ankle. Freely movable means it moves in all directions, or it allows movement in all directions. Also, the thigh or the hip joint is freely movable. Other examples of freely movable, the shoulder joints and the wrist joint. Give reason. The shoulder joint is freely movable because it allows movement in all directions. Examples of the freely movable joints are shoulder joint, wrist joint, hip, and ankle joint. The second type is slightly movable joint. Slightly means limited, which means it allows movements only in one direction, like the knee joint and the elbow joint. So the slightly movable joints, examples of them are the elbow and the knee joint. The last type of joint is immovable joint. Immovable joint, immovable, it is the opposite of movable, which means they don't allow any movement. They don't allow any movement. Examples like the joints between the skull bones. To sum up, what is joint? It is a point of connection between the bones, or it is the meeting point between the bones. Examples or types of joints are freely movable joints, limited movable joints, and immovable. Freely, it means they move freely. They allow movement in all directions. Limited, they allow only movement in one direction. Immovable, they don't allow any movement. Example of the freely shoulder joint, wrist joint, hip or thigh joints. Example of the limited movable joints, elbow joints, knee joint. Example of the immovable joint are the joints between the skull bones. Okay, thank you Prim6. I hope you have understood this lesson well. See you soon.